ready for competitive events. And so I just want to thank you all very much for being here. And I'm going to turn this right over to Dee Niedringhaus.
Okay. Diane, can you let people in then?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Dee Niedringhaus, and I'm the Competitive Event Director. And I just want to welcome you to this informational meeting for RCE and SLC. The professional development team, the competitive events, and tabs all listened and have made changes to this year's regional competitive events and state leadership conferences. Now is the time to get a pencil and paper to write down the information and to write any questions that you may have. This Zoom will be recorded and posted to the Cal-HOSA website so that you can review it later. What we have done and are doing, the changes made came from the 2023 conference, evaluations, conversations with advisors, and from the competitive event debrief, which all lieutenants and tabs, we hold this meeting immediately after the SLC in, well, last year was in Sacramento, so we held it afterwards. From the evaluations, we heard that you wanted better communications, and that is what we're trying to do today. Also, we heard you needed more time to process paying invoices. We listened. With that said, the calendar dates are very different from the years past, and that's to accommodate these concerns. So we'll move on.
Hey, thank you. So everybody's got their piece of paper out and their pencil, and they're ready to write questions down, and they're ready to take all the information so you know everything coming up soon. That's the first part of communication. So we're increasing communication to the membership, mainly concerning the RCE and the SLC, which is the regional competitive events, and the SLC, which is the state leadership conference. All information is available on the Cal-HOSA website on the important dates calendar that we will see right now. This is a PDF document. This can be downloaded to your computer. You can print it. You can paste it on as wallpaper on your walls so that you have all the important dates that you need. That's one way to get the calendar and the information. Another way is to go to the Cal-HOSA website, the homepage. On this one, there's an event calendar. You go to the event calendar, scroll down, keep scrolling, current events, and then you see in progress and view all events. So click there. And then click on where it says month view. So you click on that. And then once you click on that, scroll to the bottom. The bottom, there's subscribe to calendar. You'll see the drop down. You can subscribe to the calendar with a Google, with an iCalendar, with Outlook, with you can export it. If you take it and you have Google as your calendar, it will go right onto your phone, and you will always have the reminders there of all the important dates. So that's another way to get a calendar and updates. Time is of essence, so you need to make sure that you have that. The other way you'll get information is through headquarters. Oh, I'm sorry. Is through this is something that I'm trying out this year to see if it's helpful. It's a Google Calendar that I created with the conference's Cal-HOSA email or Google account. And in here, I've put all the important dates on this calendar. I've sent out one invite so far, and that was for today. And as you notice, I can only send out 100 at a time. So I have 4 or 5 events of the same meeting, which is today. And with that said, about half of everyone that I sent out got blocked. So some school districts may be blocking it. So you may not have received one from this calendar invite, but it did get out to several people. So it's another way that we're going to try this year to see if that helps remind you of events that are coming up. Also, I just need to remind advisors, please be proactive and do the best you can to help prepare your students. There are several ways that you can retrieve the information. You don't rely on just one method. So again, the important dates calendar in a PDF, you can print it. Headquarters will be sending out emails. Social media from the state officers, they post reminders on social media. I've seen it on Instagram. And I believe on Facebook too, if you follow them. And then also the new calendar invites that I'm going to try this, or on the Cal-HOSA website, you can subscribe to that calendar. And the last thing is we want to make sure that you know that there's resources on the Cal-HOSA website. We're going to click on that page so you can see what it looks like. It's under the new advisor training resources. And this is the page. We'll also put this Zoom recording on this page, but check out these YouTubes or PowerPoints that are here. They're very informational and they'll help you through the year. It's not just for new advisors, it's for all advisors. So that kind of covers the communication. Write down your questions if you have any questions on communication.
Diane, can I hold you for just 1 second?
Yep.
I just want to remind everybody that's on to please sign in the chat with your name and your school. Thank you. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to registration. This is registration for the conferences. So right now, our RCE, which is our regional competitive events, has opened, and this is the page you're going to go to. You log in as your chapter. The chapter advisor logs in and you have your password. This RCE opened on November 13th and it will close December 15th of 2023. That's early. That's a really important dates to remember. It's way different than the last few years. And then SLC, the State Leadership Conference registration, will open on February 12th and it will close on February 22nd. In order to register for the 2024 SLC, the State Leadership Conference, all Cal-HOSA balances must be paid, including affiliation, by February 5th. Another important date to remember. Make sure you have it all in. Remember, some of these calendar dates have been really changed in order to accommodate you to be able to get your invoices in to get these paid on time. Now, also, I want you to remember to register your students for ATC testing during SLC registration. That's the period between February 12th and February 22nd. The cost for each test at that time will be $5. Again, register for the ATC testing for your students. They can take as many as they want. Just know that, manage their time wisely and not take too many in case, they get overburdened, but they can take as many as they want. They can take them all if they want. They're an hour each. If you happen to miss this opportunity to register for the ATC test, there will be another conference named Late Cal-HOSA 2024 ATC testing only. This late registration will be open only for ATC testing from February 23rd to April 1st. The cost for the test at this time will be $10 per test because it's a late registration. And I also want to note that the top 5 will be recognized at SLC. And that's the top 5 from secondary and post-secondary. They're grouped together. They don't compete against each division. So it's total top 5, regardless of what division they're in. This is not a qualifier round for ILC. Anyone can take an ATC test at ILC. Also, we want to mention that there's no medals for the organizational leadership event. And this does not count against the blue event. This will, we will still announce, let's see, no medals will be given this year, but we will announce the winners at SLC. This is the qualifier for being selected as a voting delegate for ILC. State officers are highly encouraged to take this test. After SLC closes on February 22nd of 2024, all balances need to be paid prior to April 4th. This means that you have to have your SLC balance paid in order to attend SLC. Okay, we covered a lot on registration. Make sure you take some time to write down some notes or some questions regarding registration. We'll answer all the questions at the end. Next is we're going to cover the guidelines, the Cal-HOSA guidelines. So as you can see, there's a picture here. We're going to go to the guidelines and show you. They're on the Cal-HOSA website. Janet, go up to the top on the homepage.
On the homepage?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
that's okay. So
Yeah.
this is the homepage. I always have everybody start at the homepage. The fastest way for anyone to get anywhere for SLC and RCE is to go to the top letters, RCE and SLC information. You click on that. That brings you to basically the information page for those conferences. You're going to scroll down. You'll see a side menu called State Leadership Conference. This is a side menu you're going to be really looking at and seeing what you need. I said we're going to talk about guidelines. So you can pick middle school guidelines or you can pick secondary, post-secondary. For this demonstration, we're going to do a secondary, post-secondary. And you really need to come, I cannot stress enough, you need to come to calhosa.org to get the guidelines. Because as you can see in that red box, state up right there, states are able to change the process for some of the event guidelines. And California does have some different processes for some events, not all events, but some events. And you'll notice that when you scroll down, and you'll only see this in California where we have what we call red events. That's the health science events. And you keep scrolling, most of the rest are blue, and those are health professions, emergency preparedness, leadership, and teamwork. And then underneath teamwork is recognition events, and those are only offered at SLC. Now, you'll notice and go to health career display, which is a team event. You have a red border around the tile. And on the other side, as you flip it, there's still a red border. The guidelines are blue. Go to forensics and flip forensics. The guidelines for forensics is red. So if you see a red border with a blue guideline, you know that Cal-HOSA has a little bit of a different process than ILC. So go ahead and click on the guidelines. Make it bigger so everybody can see. This is the guidelines from ILC. We've added a California portion to it in blue. And it's right under what's new for 2023, 2024. So I'm going to go over this one because this really covers an important events changes with health career display, medical innovation, exploring medical innovation. Those three events, the guidelines say that round 1 and round 2 will be in person. So our regional conference, as you know, is all virtual. So we have to modify. So we are going to require one team member to upload a link to their 5-minute prepared video presentation. This is different than the years past when we had them upload 8 pictures. They're going to upload or paste a link to their video. Let them use whatever platform they can record that video. If it's YouTube or Vimeo, they could probably upload it to Google and then share the link because you won't be able to upload the whole file. The rubric that the judges will be using to judge this presentation will be the round 2 presentation on the rating sheet starting at letter B, the presentation content. And then you'll notice SLC, the State Leadership Conference, those that qualify from RCE will be posted on a secure website that the advisor will be emailed the password to. Round 1 and round 2 will be in person in Anaheim in California, meaning there will be no uploads required for SLC, for State Leadership Conference. Let me repeat that. Regional conference, there is a required digital upload for California. For State Leadership Conference, there is not a required digital upload for this event, health career display. Okay, go ahead and go back to the, so that you want to make sure to pull the guidelines from the Cal-HOSA website. We have added 3 new events this year. They're phlebotomy, physical therapy, and foundations of vet science, which is a middle school event. So that's about the guidelines. So again, write down some notes and we'll go over them later. The next important update is our new digital upload system. This is to let you know if you've been an advisor before and you're used to Tallow, Tallow is no longer around. It's gone. There are 2 tutorials on the Cal-HOSA website. We're going to show you how you get there. Again, you start at the home page. You go to the RCE SLC information. This time, go to the middle school guidelines. You can go to the post-secondary. They both have the same links. And on the top, you're going to see 4 buttons. The first button is the important dates. We want to make sure you always have access to that important dates. The next one in burgundy or red is the CE at a glance for middle school. There's one for secondary and post-secondary. You can click on that and that gives you a PDF that you can print out. And it's just a little snippet of each event and a little bit about it. And then the next one is a list of events with the required digital uploads. So if this is middle school, so there aren't very many here. Secondary, post-secondary have more, but it will tell you what conference there will be a digital upload required for. Some it might only be for the regional conference. Some might be for regional, SLC, and ILC. That means they have to upload for each one of those conferences. Now they obviously the first one is the regional. When they get to SLC, if they qualified, they're going to upload either the same one or they have a time to improve what they did and upload something different. The same for ILC. They can upload an approved version of their product. And then scroll down. I'm just going to mention this. Like I said before, we have a color system to help advisors and students know that the red is your health science events. Pick one of those and one of the blue events. Or you just have, I mean, if you don't want to do 2 events, you can do one red, you can do one event of anything. But if you're going to do more than one event, it's one red and one blue. And then at SLC, they can do as many green as they want and as many ATC tests, which is the brown ones that they want to do. The ACT tests will be done at the conference this year. It will not be done online. Okay, go back to the PowerPoint. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The new digital uploads. That's the last button that whole reason why we came here. Okay, that's the page you want to be on. You need to watch, as a chapter advisor, you need to watch what the student needs to see. You need to watch what your chapter advisor needs to see. This is very important for you to watch these tutorials so that you know how to guide your students on how to upload their materials. It's not difficult. It's just something that you're going to have to learn a little bit different and to be able to do it during your registration. As a chapter advisor, you'll be able to see if your student upload the required materials. You will be able to click on the link and see what they upload. And then go back to the PowerPoint because I think I have notes there that I want to go over.
Sorry.
Back.
Okay. There's 3 ways that the student will be able to access the digital upload system. So again, just like communication with what we talked about, it's not just one method. There's more than one method. We want to make sure the students have access to it. So the first way that they will be notified of a digital upload system or that they need to upload something is as soon as you, as a chapter advisor, registers them for an event that requires a digital upload, they will get an email sent to them with a private link to their event to upload a file. This is all covered in the tutorials too. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it here. So that's the first way. As soon as they get registered, they will get that email. 5 days before that deadline, they'll get another email reminding them that they need to upload a digital upload. If they've already uploaded it, obviously they can ignore that email. Now, you know that that doesn't always work with bulk emails going out. They get blocked by the school district, or they get put in their spam or junk. So make sure they check their spam and junk. As far as the blocking, there's not much I can do about that, except for there's other ways they can get that email or that link. The next way is through the HATS, or the Member Activity Tracking System. This has been used for always for the community service logging of their community hours. So in order to be able to use this for uploading, they do have to register their email. This is important. Register their email that the chapter advisor has used when they affiliated their student. Okay. The affiliated email that that you as a chapter advisor registered them when you affiliated them with HOSA. That's the email they need to register on the member activity tracking system. Once they do that, they'll be able to log into their account, and they'll see where they can log their community hours. But then underneath that, there'll be a tile of the conference. So it will be the RCE conference. And in that tile, there'll be links to the events that they need to upload a document to. So they can click on those links, they can upload the document and save it. The third way, many options. The third way, you as an advisor will be able to copy the link and paste it into an email and send it to the student. So just make sure that if you choose that method, you're choosing, when you send it, the email out to the student, that it's the student that you copied, because they are specific to the student. Okay, it's not just one link for everybody. It's specific links for the event and the student. Okay.
Okay, posting of qualifiers. So with posting of qualifiers, the RCE, the Regional Competitive Events competitors who have qualified for SLC, will be posted on a secure website, the Cal-HOSA website, on February 9th by 6 p.m. Of course, this won't include recognition events, because no recognition events are offered at the RCE. The RCE qualifier list will be removed prior to the start of SLC. And I'm not sure, Diane, will that be before registration or at registration time?
Well, we'll be removing that list when I put up the qualifiers for
For SLC, that's what I thought. Okay, so the qualifiers for all events, and this is new, from SLC will be posted on March 18th by 6 p.m. Advisors and students will know they are coming to the SLC to compete.
No, yeah. If they are
Yes.
competing at the
If they're competing, yes, they'll know if they're coming to compete at the SLC. Okay, and we decided to do this because there was a lot of feedback about students coming and not having that, not realizing they were not competing. If they are not on the list, though, make sure that you get them involved in other opportunities provided for SLC. There are workshops, and even the students can put together a workshop and present it at SLC. They can be courtesy core. There's a college and careers fair. There's ATC testing. And remember that late registration will be open from February 23rd to April 1st. So it's not too late for them to register for that.
Okay, due to the large number of students anticipated, sections have been limited due to the room size availability and managing student numbers. Most events will be limited to 2 sections at SLC with a few exceptions. Also, I wanted to let you know that there will be quiet rooms available to students. If they need to get away from the hustle and bustle of the conference, or there are some other apparently some other religious affiliations that they need to have a quiet room, then there will be quiet rooms available to the students. I also wanted to remind you that MRC has been retired this year. There weren't enough teams in order to do that one, so we are retiring it. Also, just to let you know that the cost for the hotel is $189 plus tax. That's the Anaheim Hilton and the Sheraton Hilton. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, now let's talk about registration at Anaheim. So this is registration when you're in person at SLC conference on April 4th. There's been changes to the on-site in-person registration at SLC conference in Anaheim. All items required for the conference, that's the name badges, the t-shirts, the lanyards, the pins, the chapter attendee list with the students' events will be pre-bagged. All bags will have been double checked with all the items inside it. The only thing that will not be in that bags is the advisor name badges. We're going to hold those when you check out. So the first step you're going to do is you're going to go to the registration desk. You're going to get handed a checkoff sheet at registration, and then the advisor, you as an advisor, will be admitted to the assigned room where your items are pre-bagged. This room will be monitored by board members. If you have any questions or concerns, please flag one of the board members to come assist. Meaning, as you're checking, the second step is advisors will verify on the checkoff sheet the items that were counted, and then sign the checkoff sheet with your phone number that you're going to hand in. So as you're counting, if something isn't off, or something is off, please flag down one of the board members in the room to come help and verify the count so that we can get it corrected. If you don't choose a t-shirt size at the time of registering for your SLC, which is February 12th through February 22nd, you will not have any t-shirts in your bag. There will be an additional paper attached to your bag that says no sizes, no shirts. And on that attached paper, there'll be instructions of where and when t-shirts can be picked up. But please note that the sizes might not be ones that will fit your students because you didn't let us know what you wanted. So please check t-shirts on your registration. This is in the options and activities section on the registration page. No t-shirts will be shipped to advisors this year. Once the checkoff sheet is completed and signed, advisors will turn in the completed sheet back at registration table, which is organized alphabetically by chapter. And at that time, advisors will receive your name badges, which will also include all your advisors in your chapter and their assigned responsibility to assist with competitive events. This is a great time to mention, what does that mean? We have a web page that has all the roles that we need to run competitive events and their job descriptions. Again, that's on that one sidebar. You'll see event manager and section leader responsibility roles. So you click on that, you can click on these documents and you can see what are they supposed to do. We have a lieutenant, which these are already pre-assigned. We have event managers that we're still needing. The next one is a judge manager and section leader. We added the judge manager as a new role this year, but we added it as a section leader. So they're going to be a dual role. And then we have another section leader. So click on those documents to see what is the job description for those documents. And then sign up to so if you have a specific event that you want to assist with, make sure to fill out the form on the Cal-HOSA website now, and it's on the web page on the dashboard. You're going to submit here. Make your choice no later, preferably right now today, but no later than February 12th, 2024. If you wait till after that day, you will be assigned to an event. The conference cannot run without the assistance from all chapters. And then just a note, on Wednesday night, There will be a limited early registration where you'll be able to pick up your bag and your registration forms. And this is going to be open for lieutenants, board members, and event managers. There will also be a mandatory advisor meeting prior to that early registration date. Or prior to the early registration that I just mentioned on Wednesday. So they don't get out of that mandatory board meeting. They will have one on that day before they pick up all their stuff.
Okay. There will be a mandatory event manager section leader meeting this year on Thursday at 10:30 to 11:30. And this meeting was what got kind of shoved off last year, and we didn't get to meet with everybody before we started running events, but that's going to change. And we're going to be able to talk to you and have you understand your role. And if you have any questions, please talk to your lieutenant. They will help you with anything that you need to do. This is going to ensure that the event managers and section leaders are better prepared to run their event.
Okay, now we're moving on to the conference agenda. A draft has been posted on the Cal-HOSA website. It's on the front page under quick links. There is a flyer that just mentions something about the Cal-HOSA state office or Cal-HOSA conference. And then there's the agenda. So you can click on the agenda. You can download this. You can print it. This has been scheduled. Let's see. The newest item on this, or biggest change right now, is the opening session, which is now from 12 to 2 p.m. on Thursday. So make sure, yes, make sure that you get there on time with your students and make sure they're in their HOSA blues. This has been scheduled during this time so that we can start competitive events by 3 p.m. This sets the conference up with success, getting the students motivated and information that they will need to have a great experience at the 2024 SLC. This also gives competitive events opportunity to start events early and get the students engaged sooner. There will be workshops, HOSA Village, Onamage, and Body Interact, and ATC testing on site on Thursday and also on Friday morning. Some events will start at 3 p.m. on Thursday, such as the setup for the health career display, setup for medical innovation, setup for exploring medical innovation. These will be done after the advisors meeting from 2:15 to 3 p.m. Also to note, the events for each category have been spread out over the 3 days so that there is better oversight by the lieutenants and the CE headquarters. An example of what we mean by this is physical therapy, which is under health professions. And as you know, health professions is usually done on Saturday. This event will be done on Thursday night. This will give that lieutenant an opportunity not to be so spread out on that Saturday. Also note that the students should not arrive more than 15 minutes before their appointment time, or the 15 minutes before their event if there's a holding room. This will help competitive event personnel to better control student crowds and the noise in the hallway, benefiting all competitors. Saturday, all events will end by 12:30 p.m. This will allow the time needed to verify top 5 along with the PowerPoint.
Judges, so we have 2 new judge recruiters. They are Karen Dennis and Vivian Doe. So they're already working to recruit industry personnel to judge our events. We find it is much better to have industry because then they understand the content and all of that. So they're working hard to do that. And I would like to remind you, as an advisor, you may not judge your own students. If you are, and I know that we get short and we have to pull somebody in. So we're counting on your integrity to make sure that the event runs smoothly and without any any upset by other students, because you might be there with your own students. Okay, so it's a recap and extras and questions. So the first thing is to remind you that opening session starts at 12 p.m. on Thursday. And it'll go till 2. RCE registration is open now, and it closes December 15th. You must remember that in order to qualify for SLC, you must register for RCE. RCE registration opens February 12th and closes February 22nd. It's a very short time, so you want to make sure you get your registration completed. The other thing is to make sure you get your proctors online for testing. So for RC, the last day to register a proctor is December 15th. And for SLC, the last day to register a proctor is February 22nd. And we're hoping that those will be from the RCE testing, and as I said above, the RCE, hopefully they'll do SLC testing. As far as a proctor goes, your proctor can be anybody but an advisor, and we want to make sure it is not an advisor, and to remind them it's the responsibility of that proctor to monitor the room. And you can have more than one proctor in your room, in a testing room, to help so that to make sure students aren't Googling answers, they're not conversing with each other, and they're not on their phone. Again, we want to try to keep the testing integrity intact. March 22nd, all forms are due. So I think we were going to show you some.
Yeah, but before you do that, let's make one more note on the proctors. When you're choosing your proctor, if you notice a proctor on your list that is no longer with your school district, you can disable them, or you can click on their name and edit that name to be the proctor that is currently going to be able to proctor for you. So you do have the ability to disable your proctor now. I just want to make sure we noted that. Okay.
So all of the required forms, such as the advisor statement of insurance, advisor and student code of conduct, medical release, and student social agreement, are all due March 22nd. And I think this will take us to homepage.
So
And
RCE, SLC. We're going to scroll down. We're going to find the section where it says forms. We're going to click on the one that says forms that are due. And this brings you up to this page. They're due by March 22nd of 2024. And as you're going to fill in that top portion of your information, you're going to download the required forms. So you're probably going to download these required forms first, get them all filled out, come back, fill up that top portion, and then you'll be able to create a link. So when you download them, when you put them up, you want to make sure that you save them into like a Google Drive where you can share a link, because this year, because due to the size problem that we had last year with the file size, several advisors weren't able to upload the files. So this year, you're going to paste in, just like the students do, a shareable link into those places underneath where it says advisor assurance form. Paste in a shareable link. Keep going down. So those fields are where you paste in the link where we can find the information. That way we won't have that problem of uploading with the file size not big enough.
Okay, and just a note, 2 rooms have been set aside for luggage storage. They'll be at the Hilton Hotel in Catalina's room 6 and 7. Currently, that's that could change. The room names could change, but that's so that when you come, and I know your students are all in their HOSA blues, and you know they need to store all their stuff because registration probably hasn't opened yet for the hotel. You can't get your rooms yet, and you can store them in these rooms. Right, and don't forget, SLC registration opens February 12th, and hotel registration opens February 12th. And as Dee said, the cost of the rooms are $189 plus tax. Okay? And the big one is Opening session will be at 12 o'clock on Thursday. Right. Thank you.
Okay, so now everybody can go back to their paper and pencil and look at your notepad. And now's the time you can take yourself off of mute. And these questions sometimes are more important than what we just told you. So please ask questions.
I have a couple questions for you.
Who's talking?
Alejandra from Chowchilla.
Thank you.
We were looking at the competitive events, and I know you said you could get like one red, one blue. Is that per chapter or is that per student?
Per student.
Per student, great. And then my last question was, when is the registration going to open for kids to like sign up for workshops if they want to run one, and like where would they do that?
That's a great question. I am going to forward that to somebody else who can answer it.
Okay.
Is June on?
Sorry.
This is Cindy. As soon as the registration for the conference opens, the call for presentation will be available, and you can submit a call for presentation workshop at that time. And we would love to have every chapter do a workshop. We would love to have you do workshops, or if you have anybody that you think would do a great workshop, we would love to do that, because this is a leadership conference. Competitive events are a part of the conference, but the rest of the conference is providing the students with leadership opportunities, providing industry growth opportunities. It's just a great opportunity for students to learn all about the industry, all about things that are going on within the industry, how they apply for college applications. There's just so much that can be done at a workshop. So as soon as registration opens for the conference, the call for presentation will be up.
Okay, and that's February 12th, right?
Correct.
Great, awesome, thank you.
And, you know, I'm going to say that we might even be able to open that sooner than that. Diane will talk about that, and giving you more time, I think, would be a good idea. So let's talk about opening that probably at least a month sooner.
Right,
Okay.
that would be great. I know they had a program where they were having them sign up for courtesy core and all that. Would it be through the same one?
No, so the presentations is through, it'll be on a website with a link to fill out a form for the presentation. The courtesy core, they usually use sign up, which also will put a link on the webpage so you know where to go to sign up for courtesy core.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And on the website, just so you know, like, really look at that homepage. I try to put most of the stuff that is important or that is just current under that quick links portion or the special notes portion. So make sure you look there for like anything that might be up to date. And again, we're going to be sending out those Google reminders. So hopefully you'll know all the dates and you won't miss anything.
Okay, and if they do the call for like the presentation stuff earlier, will that be emailed, or should I just keep checking the website?
I think headquarters, I'm going to speak for them, will email something out.
We will email something out from headquarters, but always check that website. You know, we have a couple of things that we have just sent out, the mental health certification project, as well as the mentor project. We put them on the website and then we notify you. We try to do that in a couple of ways so that everybody has the opportunity to participate as they can. So we will do both.
Okay, thank you.
Just a show of hands, how did everybody like, if you received that link where you accepted it, this meeting, did you guys like that or was that annoying? You liked it? I got one, so we'll go with it.
I liked it too, so.
Okay,
Kristen, do you want to ask your question? I'm looking through the chat for questions here. Kristen, are you on?
Yeah, I think someone answered it. I was just asking about like hotels being connected, but Cindy had said the Hilton's connected.
Okay. Anybody
Thank
else
you.
have any questions or comments? Oh, that sounds like.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
doggy dog. So we will post, I see, can the PowerPoint be shared? We will post this on the website on that advisor, new advisor resources, under advisor resources. Also a link to the Zoom recording that we're recording right now will be on the website. So if you want to fast forward and re-listen to some parts, you can. If you want to listen to the whole thing for an hour, you can do that too.
Somebody asked, is there a plan to have more hotels this year than last year? Cindy?
Because of the size of the hotels, we have the Anaheim Hilton, we have the Sheraton, Anaheim Sheraton Park. We have the Marriott right across the street. There should be no shortage of hotel rooms. Those are bigger hotels. There are more rooms, and we do not anticipate having to have any issues with busing or anything like that because of the size of the hotels.
Okay.
They're all right there, right by, I mean, walk across the street and walk into the convention center, walk across the street, walk into the Hilton. They're all right there.
Okay, I have a question for you. When does RCE registration open? First one,
It opened on February 12th or 13th.
not February,
Sorry, November.
correct, November 13th. When does it close?
December
Somebody else.
15th, December 15th.
Is that before Christmas? You guys got to be on the ball, get there.
Somebody just has a question here. It says, is there a meeting for new advisors and or new competitions? There on the website, there is a new advisor orientation, part 1 and part 2. If you read those, if you watch those, you will get any information that you need. If you still have questions, you can always email any of us, Diane, me, Janet, Betty, anybody, with your questions, and we will answer them within 24 hours, if not sooner.
Also, I will add that there is a state leadership conference preparation meeting being put as a professional development. The tentative date is January 5th and 6th. It will be a Friday night, Saturday. It will be in person, and it will be providing a lot of information, resources, and ways that you can get prepared to bring your students, prepare your students, and have a successful conference. I believe the location is in Southern California. I'm waiting for confirmation. Watch the website, because as soon as I get that notification, I will let you know. So we will be having something special to prepare people to go to the conference. It will be overall, and I'm really excited about it.
Cindy, and we're also starting the mentorship program, right? So for new chapters, it's John.
Oh,
Yes, we have put out an email. We do have a mentorship program. Part of that program is having new chapters be able to meet with someone at the conference, just to kind of, support them, give them guidance, and say, hey, here we are. It's kind of scary, but these are a couple of things that I learned as a chapter advisor. And it will be, a supportive resource for new chapters or chapters who think that, well, I'm, been there before, but maybe just a couple of years and I could use some help. So yes, that is a brand new project the board has started this year.
There was a question by Chase as far as how do we know what event we're working? Is there someone we can see what is available? So where you can see what's still available that we need is on that homepage where you want to sign up to be an event manager or section leader. I've only listed the events that we still need help with, which is quite a few. So get there and sign up.
great way to learn an event.
Mhm.
And there's lots of questions about hotels. I don't know if this was already answered. When do hotels open? We always seem to miss in the book. We
February
said
12th.
that would be a question for all of you. When does hotel registration open?
So actually, my
February
question,
12th.
yeah, my question was, when does ILC hotel registration?
Oh, that one.
Because they're always booked by the time SLC is done, so I want to be on top of it this year.
I don't know the answer.
Good question. You have to watch the website, and usually it starts opening in May, but you have to watch that website. We are not told necessarily that exact day. We go in and monitor it every single day to see. If I get any kind of inclination about when that's going to open, we will let you know.
Okay.
But you're absolutely right. We will be in Houston this year, and we need to make sure if you're going to that conference, get your hotel. You do not want to be a hotel that you have to take a bus 30 and 45 minutes away.
Yeah. So sometime in March. Is that what you're saying?
I think Cindy said May. I don't know what it opens.
It's not May. We're always booked before that.
Okay. So look on that would be for the HOSA website. Everything else, we want you to go to Cal-HOSA, but for that one, because it's the HOSA event, go to the HOSA.org site.
Okay.
There's another question about students want to compete in CPR first aid. Did you mention a limit to how many can participate? We have some other, we talked about that most of them are limited to 2 sections, but CPR first aid has 3 sections this year.
But there's no limit as far as how many in your chapter that can sign up. You can sign up as many as you want.
As many students,
Yeah,
as many
you can
teams
sign
as
up
you want.
as many as you want. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
And then how can we remove students that mistakenly added to our membership on HOSA.org? You cannot. Once you've read that affiliation, you've agreed to everything is correct, and you will pay. There's no deleting of students on that, once you affiliate them.
Oh, Jennifer, it says new chapter here. We didn't get an invite for this meeting, I guess. Should I just email? Make sure that you email headquarters and let them know your email.
Email conferences Cal-HOSA also, so that I can get you on the Google reminders. Conferences calhosa@gmail.com.
And just to remind you, if you are on here, please sign in the chat with your name and your school so we know who attended.
If a student signed up only to attend and be part of the courtesy code, will they still need to pay for the full registration fee for SLC? The answer is yes. They're attending the SLC and they're getting all the benefits as everybody else.
Okay. I think we answered all the questions. Any other questions we didn't get answered?
I have Val Easton. I have a few questions. I'm just wondering what the cost of SLC is. Do we know what that is right now?
It should be 120.
Oh, 120. Okay. And then the other question is, I know there sometimes has been a minimum of nights to stay at the hotel. Could we leave Saturday night after closing ceremony, or do we have to?
Cindy, what is your take on that? Cindy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. No, I believe as long as we fill our block and you want to leave after opening session and after the mandatory meetings, that's up to you as a chapter.
But I mean, could we leave like after Saturday night, after closing? So
That's
if we're
what I
leaving,
mean.
like,
After the
Thursday,
mandatory
Friday.
meeting, yes.
Okay. Okay.
If you are living close and you do not want to stay that night, you can do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have a question. So if we get there at 9 a.m., we're okay
9 a.m. on what day?
on Thursday. There's no major event,
Registration
right?
starts at 7:30 in the morning,
And when does it end?
9:30.
Okay, so if we get there by 9, register, there's no major events that the students are missing, right?
You're cutting it close to that opening session, because remember, when you come in to register, you're picking up your sheet, then you're going to go in this room and count all of the stuff in that bag, verify that it's all there, and then you have to get all that, the name badges to the students so that everybody has a name badge before opening starts at 12 o'clock.
Okay, but there's no competition or events between 9 and 12, right?
There's no
The-
competition. I think there might be some workshops.
There's other things that are going on. You need to get there we opened registration early so you could get there. And if everybody waits until the last minute, we will have to close registration and move on to the next event. So I would suggest getting there as soon as you can on Thursday morning.
Okay, thank you.
I
have a question. Is there a registration fee for the RLC?
Yes, it's $25.
25 each?
$25 each for, each student. And then the advisor, there has to be at least one advisor registered. There is no fee for the advisor because we're not doing it in person. But I do need an advisor on that list so that I know who to contact if there's some issues that I still need to get resolved.
Mm-hmm. And for every ACT test that they take, is it an additional $5?
Correct. That's
For every-
if you register for every ATC test that they want to take. It's an additional $5 per test. If you register during the SLC registration period, February 12th to February 22nd. If you wait to register for AT test after February 22nd, it will be $10 per test. And it has to be done by April 1st.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Will there be,
Adam.
right, will there be a mandatory meeting? If your students make it to the ILC, is there going to be a mandatory meeting on Sunday morning?
No, that's on Saturday night.
Okay, will be
Just to clarify on the ATC test, is it $5 per test or is it $5 like after the first one?
It's $5 per test.
Okay, thank you.
And late test is $10.
I want to just say something very quickly. Those of you who are registering your students for the SLC or the RCE, make sure that those students are going to the conference. Once you push submit, that is a commitment that you will pay. And so make sure that if you don't know that student is going, wait to push submit. Because once you push the button submit, that means that you are committing to pay that registration fee. And for ILC, the same thing, because Cal-HOSA does not make any money on ILC. If you push submit, we have to pay for that student. And HOSA does not allow us to say, oh, I'm sorry, we have these students who really aren't going. That's not allowed. So make sure that if you put your students down, you push submit, that you are committing to pay for those students.
Any other questions? If not, I'm going to stop recording.
I have a question just about the SLC advisor meeting. I saw it on Wednesday on the agenda. And is that the only one that would be, it would be Wednesday?
No, the one you saw on for Wednesday, that would be for those who are registering early, like the lieutenants and the event managers and the board members. Otherwise, the advisor meeting is on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, there is one on
And-
Thursday.
Okay, perfect. And then we are brand new to this, so I know it may be a dumb question, but what is the ATC? What are the ATC tests?
They're extra tests that HOSA offers for ATC. It's called academic testing. It's put on by the National Geographic. And so it's additional tests that the students can take if they like to test. Basically. That we offer. There's like 14 of them, if I remember right. And remember, that's not separated out by division. So they're competing, secondaries and post-secondaries are competing against each other.
Are either one ready for anything? No. Okay.
Any other questions?
I just want to say, Diane, they are not qualifiers for ILC.
Right.
Any student can go to ILC and test in any ATC test, no matter what they did at SLC. So they are not qualifiers. They don't move you into a round. They are just an additional opportunity that students can use as a, you know, sort of a star on their portfolio.
Are you getting
And
COVID?
they can move
flu or
forward. So they're not,
Just the flu,
they're
okay.
not ranked as first, second, and third gold medals, silver and bronze. They're those students who have participated and can move forward.
Awesome. We had a good turnout, over 80 people here, so